Football shocked the nation with a major rout of the #1 team in the country. I break down the now #6 Auburn Tigers to give you my Fast Five. Good evening, I'm Sara. Thanks for joining me. Auburn's win over Georgia was not a surprise to some, but by winning 40-17 is what stunned sports enthusiasts everywhere. With the Tigers still having to go through one more #1 team in the next 2 weeks, I break down the good and the party from their win over Georgia to show you what it means moving forward. So let's get started. #1, the defensive front. Coming into the game, Georgia had the 10th best rushing offense in the country. Well, Auburn made sure their run game wasn't just stopped, but totally annihilated. The defensive line and linebackers held the Bulldogs to 49 total rush yards, the fewest UGA has had all season. Here's how this obliteration of the run game broke down. On this key 3rd and 1 play, the Auburn defensive line is able to push the offensive line out of their way to give Trey Matthews a clear path to Sonny Michel. With the Tigers having to go through another #1 team in the country, in 2 weeks, they will once again have to stop another top rushing offense. By totally demolishing the Georgia run game, the Tigers show lots of promise for being able to stop the Crimson Tide running backs. Now to the best player on the team for #2. Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon has been by far and away the best player on both sides of the football for Auburn. He leads the team in touchdowns with 17 and is closing in on a 1,000-yard rushing season, which he kind of passed it against Georgia. However, these stats have barely been noticed throughout the country, and Gus Malzahn had something to say about that.
Kerryon Johnson, I've been saying it for a couple weeks. He's one of the best running backs in the country, if not the best. He proved it tonight, and he needs to be in the Heisman talk.
Well, if Gus thinks Kerryon should be in the Heisman conversation, then he obviously should be in the conversation, in my opinion. Kerryon will be a key factor for Auburn moving forward. If the Tigers want to make a run for the national title, they will have to do it on the back of Kerryon. On to #3, the sideline party. If you have been living under a rock the past week, then you probably don't know about this, but Auburn had a total dance party on the sideline during the 4th quarter of the game. The team danced to Crank That by Soulja Boy, a sort of payback for the 2007 loss to Georgia, as the clock was winding down at the end of the game. Watching this from the sidelines was probably one of the best moments for me of the season. However, I was shocked Gus allowed this to happen. And I guess everyone else was too, because Gus had this to say Tuesday.
Our guys have worked extremely hard, and I want our guys to have fun playing the game. And so that was kind of one of those things that I want them to do. Obviously, when you win big, it's funner. Okay, but I want our guys to be a little looser, and really I want to be a little looser, and I want to have fun myself.
This party-like atmosphere and in finding the joy in playing the game is a very good mindset for this Auburn team to have. Considering this having fun while playing mentality has been working well since their loss at LSU, I would say the Tigers better stick to it moving forward. Now, an issue turned positive for #4, scoring touchdowns in the red zone. If Tiger fans have the same thought process as me, they probably were starting to fear that the only points Auburn would score against Georgia would be on the foot of Daniel Carlson, considering he contributed the first 9 points for the Tigers. Luckily for Auburn, they started to figure out how to score touchdowns instead of field goals. And they didn't just find one way. They find a multitude of ways in this game. Here's my favorite scoring style from the game. This time, it's Sidham faking a handoff to Kerryon Johnson, and he fakes out almost every person on the field. Cinnamon said takes the roundabout way outside into the end zone before he takes a jump, sticks the landing, and scores for the Tigers. With multiple players scoring in a variety of ways, Auburn can only look up from here. When facing a tough defense in Alabama, players such as Jarrett Stidham and Kerryon Johnson will have to find ways to score that are different than usual, and that will only help Auburn offensively. Finally, for number 5, the fans. Who would have thought Auburn fans would be louder than the fans at Clemson in Death Valley? Well, Tiger fans came into this game ready to cheer on their Auburn Tigers loud and proud. Here's one of my favorite cheers I could hear clearly from the field.
Number 9, Cam Morton on the carry.
It really was great to be an Auburn Tigers Saturday. Auburn fans will have to be just as loud, if not louder, as the Iron Bowl nears. If the Georgia game was any indication, Auburn fans are ready to rock the stadium and ultimately help the Tigers shake up the rankings. Well, those are my Fast 5 for this week. To get my 5 takeaways and 5 keys to victory, visit our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, on Mondays and Fridays to catch my thoughts. Well, if you have been confused about the latest in the Ezekiel Elliott suspensions like I have been, we got you covered. A breakdown of Elliott and the national sports update coming up.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Hi, Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.